Guys, welcome back. Today I wanted to discuss important topics in reselling world of magic. There's like so many different things happening constantly in reselling news in the world that everything else becomes irrelevant. As you know, guys, reselling has become one of the most important things in life for a lot of people. And me too, guys, me too, Without reselling, that's it, guys. I don't know. I'll have to, start 10,000 YouTube channels, guys, and constantly post shorts on them. But anyway, the importance of today's very important topic, guys, and I'll cover some other things as I usually do with my ADHD and other issues. Um, a lot of videos, as you guys know, from content creators recently pointed the upcoming eBay promotional fees change. The fees will be changing, guys. The Not the fees will be changing, but the policy, as you guys already learned from a lot of content creators. So since nobody watches my channel much, I'll add up some other things that are also important. So maybe I'll get like 2 likes this time instead of 0. um, but hit the like button, guys. Very important, for any channel. I usually don't ask a lot of people to subscribe at all. It usually doesn't work, guys. As you guys know, I feel like if a person likes certain individual, not just content altogether, but also individual at the same time, they may eventually subscribe in about 5 years. After watching, in my case, it's kind of nonsense most of the time, but I kind of one of the content creators that makes very unprofessional videos. Like, remember, guys, back in the days there were independent films and a lot of independent filmmakers that make like certain movies and not get noticed, and those movies sometimes get noticed by big movie companies and they get released. So in my case, that's like for YouTube. Like, I'm an independent content creator without any professional, equipment or anything. But I think people, when they hear someone talk about important topics, professional equipment is important, of course, for people to hear you or see you. See, in my videos, usually people not just hear what I'm saying, they just don't understand and also don't see me in a good quality picture, which actually is also very, very questionable, guys, if to say the least. If Hollywood producer will watch this channel, they will like, this guy needs a lot of professional equipment. But unfortunately, guys, cannot afford it. It's kind of, we cannot constantly discuss issues, and then someone will say in the comments, "Why the hell are you doing YouTube videos if you cannot afford a microphone, right? Or proper camera, right? Why are you doing that?" A lot of people have to voice their opinion, guys, and there's gonna be no life if there will be no opinions. That's how we live. So let's get back to the topic, guys. After all this introduction and stuff about nothing as usual. So before the promotional fees change and policy change in on January 13th, 2026, the world will end. Pretty much. That's it, guys. The end of days of reselling. The end of days are coming, guys. Remember this movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, guys? Back in the days, the end of days, when people were afraid that the year 2000 will be end of the world. See, that's what's coming for all of you resellers. The end of days. So, the topic that I wanted to discuss also along with that is that constant, which also is very important, is that a lot of people go to eBay Open, for example, and like hang out, talk to eBay reps there, and that's normal. I mean, they kind of hang out, voice their opinion, and at the same time, a lot of those people that go to those events, they think that eBay realistically listening to their opinion, which actually is a possibility. They may listen to something, but the eBay is like your employer. So you have to, company meetings. People gather, discuss certain things. Someone will voice their opinion about certain things. And there are so many things throughout the years that eBay has done where they still and will be still, in my opinion, forever, you can disagree or make videos about it, favor buyers. Unfortunately, there is nothing that has happened or happening or will be will happen in the future will change eBay's mind about this. They're not Mercari or Poshmark or smaller marketplaces. Bonanza that sometimes, in my opinion, not sometimes, but in my opinion, Mercari and Poshmark are for the sellers because of the policies, and we'll discuss it later on. But eBay, and there were videos recently about which I watch. In my case, I can bring you very good channel for me that I watch. Is it's a crazy New York driver, and that's Joey, who is a person in this channel from New York, Brooklyn, New York. I don't remember exactly where Joe is from, but he's got good content, and he's got a lot of subscribers. By the way, guys, he's not a part of the actual reseller community. He's just one as many other content creators on his own, without going into any communities. And recently he made a good video, which was actually a couple days ago, I think. And he does those videos about those types of buyers and returns, and it brings views, of course. People like to watch those. So you have to watch his last video. Go subscribe, guys. Not sponsored by Joe. Italian connection from New York. Italian mafia, guys. So returns are always discussed, and a lot of content creators discuss them, which is not like something that is something new for you or any of content creators. This stuff will not be changing. The good thing about eBay that has changed, of course, they add up those positive feedbacks now, as you guys know already, after their last eBay Open, which they changed. And the bad part about this policy that they made on feedback, which I discussed in previous video, is that they no longer remove negative feedbacks left by buyers who bought something from you and returned you completely different thing possibly, or took something out from it, or damaged your item, and then you partially refund them, or whatever you do. It's your business, how you run your eBay store. And in the past, of course, which I already discussed, they were removing certain negative feedback, but they still do if there's certain foul language and stuff like that, which you're familiar with, or shipping situation, or other things that are not out of buyer's control, kind of, which is also gonna be rare now. So in many videos, and last videos that Crazy New York Driver did, he discussed about things that buyers do, and so we keep doing it. And eBay also favoring buyers, as they will always do that. There's gonna be no change, so you can forget about it. eBay marketplace, you have to understand, needs to favor buyers. Now, a lot of you will say, "Oh, screw them, that marketplace. That's your employer, kind of in a way, right?" Think about it, like a double meaning situation. So we kind of work for eBay. Of course, there are some, situations where certain, I mean, not good, but certain resellers sell on completely different marketplace. I know a lot of them, even from here, from Cleveland, in our bean stores that I talk to, that sell either they have their own antique booths, they go to flea markets where they set up a table and sell stuff at certain flea markets, and go to some shows for clothing, sell clothing this way. And you'll be surprised how many resellers out there not on eBay at all, and they sell for decent amount and make good money. And a lot of different options, of course, exist, right? And we all know it. It's just kind of a saying about it. But we tend to go to lives and podcasts discuss same exact crap thing. I mean, sorry, about eBay policies, which is good for views, right? Someone will work like list and watch in the background the video to help those content creators get hours and views, which is normal as we're trying to help each other. Unfortunately, a lot of the times, even with the great help from other content creators and comments and likes, YouTube doesn't push your content out anyway. So that's another story. But this particular situation, if you look at it, eBay is your employer. If you mostly sell on eBay, so all those you know disagreements, all those negativity sometimes towards eBay, and a lot of other things, that is happening around, not just from sellers' point, but also buyers' point of view. Um, it's not gonna change because eBay makes there to make money for their um, stockholders, and you guys already know about it anyway. It's just kind of a thing that happens every week, every day. Everyone discusses it, and that's fine. That's normal. It's not like something that you don't discuss. But in reality, all of us in the back of our minds, we know about it like already. So here's an option, right? You can, of course, be unhappy about eBay stuff, be like talking about them in the videos, make comments and stuff like this, go into lives and talk about this all the time non-stop, like a Groundhog Day every certain live. People are not happy, no sales, fees are going up, buyers send constantly open returns. It's like your employer. So what does eBay will think in the back of their mind? They'll say, if you're not happy, just leave. Go find some other marketplace, sell there. And that's what I was just saying. A lot of resellers don't sell on eBay. They found other ways to sell their stuff different in different marketplaces, flea markets, antique booths, um, other venues or ventures. And that's normal because they understand that, they don't. There is, like I say always, there is very small percentage of content creators out there on YouTube who do reselling content. There are a lot of other resellers who make really good money. They don't even watch YouTube. And like a lot of people from our beans, for example, my local beans, they rarely watch YouTube for any content or advice or anything. They just do what they learned and what they been doing for many years and make good money. So they don't need that type of stuff for me to tell them that eBay sucks because their fees are going up. People still go on themselves, research that stuff, and just do stuff that they want. So what I will say to you guys is that that particular situation is like a double meaning, which you don't discuss much like on YouTube, but there's always other ways, right? You don't not happy. It's like you're working for someone, right? You're working at a workplace. You're getting paid. You're not getting a raise. You're constantly getting some kind of issues at that workplace. Um, Problems with other employees, problems with management, ownership. So a lot of the times those people quit or they find another job and move on, right? Same thing you can bring up in with eBay marketplace, right? You constantly argue points. eBay is not doing that right, or they did something right finally, or they've been changing things towards making more money. And there was that fees change upcoming in January. That's what it is because they're making money. They understand. So you as a seller, if you didn't find any other ways or business ventures or venues to sell somewhere else or have other income, they're not there to satisfy your needs in a way. They're there to help you sell your stuff. If you do promotions, if you do like coupons, if you know do things right, ship stuff on time, list stuff properly, describe things properly. They're there for you. So they're your employer, like invisible entity over your head, and you just do your job as your own business person, business owner of your own business. So they're not there to satisfy your needs in terms of happiness, that they are making money for themselves because they are, I mean, they need to do that for themselves. They've been doing it for themselves for many years. And that's what it is, guys, with fees and upcoming other changes that will be coming up. We can discuss it many times. We'll make great content. I mean, the content will be coming out. People will be talking about it. There is a lot of channels that talk about this. And same thing with returns. It's part of this whole entity thinking that happens every freaking day, like a Groundhog Day, because it is in a way. It's like a broken record that keeps spinning or skipping. It's constant issues, possibly constant changes, as similar as if you worked for someone else. If you go work for a company, because I know, because from guys I worked in a lot of different places, and was my temper. It's not like I am very temperamental. I usually stand up for people. Unfortunately, business owners of corporations, and managers, they don't see it this way. They're there. Some of them are kiss assers, of course, which I discussed many times in the past, that will be kissing ass of their manager, of their president, of their owner, to be kind of keeping their job and maybe get ahead on get a raise, or get ahead on their eyes, like, oh, that guy is, we're gonna keep him around. He likes us very much. He'll put everything on the line to like us. But there are people like me, for example, that are very temperamental, and I've been kind of voicing my uh, disagreements in the past, and when I used to work in companies. Disagreements, voiced my opinions about things. Owners, like eBay in this case, some listen, some don't. They don't need to. They will be okay. They will be making money. You can move on. You can, as in like workplace, quit the job and move on, find another job. Will that job be paying you much more? Probably not. It depends. It depends on a lot of factors. How old you are, uh, what kind of experience you have with stuff that you want to try to do with your work, or at your work, or what kind of job you're gonna get. Similar to eBay. That's why everything they do, everything they change, it's like workplace. You can voice your opinions, like people came out on content creators. They put the comments in, right? Maybe eBay will look. They will look, but will they lose money because of that or sleep because of that? Probably not. They're gonna look at it and say, well, we're here making money for our corporation. You can, the content creators who have a lot of views and a lot of you know, not just the subscribers don't matter, but views and stuff like that. Of course, subscribers may matter in terms of views. That's true, but they'll still get money also from their content. But there are other content, not content, but there are many, many millions of resellers who don't have that. So they rely on that marketplace. So they will say, okay, well, you don't like it, go sell on Mercari, sell on Poshmark. And guess what? I do. But the difference is the traffic. A lot of people discuss it, of course, in their videos. Amazon the same way. Where people, younger generation now, of course, who are much younger, in their early teens, 20s, may, eventually in, say, 10 years, where will eBay be, right? How it's gonna be. Maybe everything will be live. All those things, no static. Everything will be going live sale, for example. It's like, think about it. There's just kind of presumably possibility, or my kind of theory is that it may happen. That's why right now a lot of people do live selling on different marketplaces. It doesn't matter where. So, and that's how it's gonna be. And every time we make a video to complain about things or do lives or podcasts, the corporation, such a big corporation like eBay, doesn't really need to abide by those things. They're abiding by their own money, and that's similar to Goodwill. There are so many people complain about Goodwill or other thrift stores, for example. We're gonna take Goodwill as an example because are they losing sleep because you complain that the prices went up? No, this corporation has made. That's how they are built. Even though they are saying they, a lot of people think they're supposed to sell to someone who has no money, right, or has low income, or people who are needy. They're business corporation for profit. It's capitalistic country, guys. It's like people try to kind of be nice in a way to point out certain things that you you're poor and you're not making money, right? But in reality, they are looking out for themselves with any of their business ventures. So they don't care about it. You know how many millions of people in the same position, say, as me, or millions, who may not make any money on any reselling, and they're trying everything, different business ventures, to try to make more money. And like I said, every situation is also unique, as there are other we discussed in my last video about Pegasus Lounge. They're just whatever. He will make more videos and makes money from views also, because that's how it is. It doesn't matter. It's just a reality. People move on and do what's best for them and try to accomplish things, try to make money. eBay, you can discuss in so many different ways, and like you will find out that they care less about your opinions. They are there to make money, same as Goodwill. Goodwill doesn't look at your opinion and say, hey, why did you raise the price on this thing? Why is this t-shirt supposed to be $1, not $8 at your store? They'll say, hey, who the hell are you to tell us what we need to do? We're a corporation for profit, trying to make money. You as a reseller doing the same kind of thing, trying to buy low, sell high. So why are we doing something wrong if you're doing the same thing? So basically think about it, like it's basically same revolving door and same exact thing, like a broken vinyl record, or groundhog day of things that happen every day, is kind of similar thing that happens with any businesses that are trying to make money. Companies who are trying to make money that way, they succeed. I mean, they're successful. How long are they gonna last? Nobody knows. Businesses change within, like, a day. Something can happen. Business, Fortune 500 companies, all of that stuff. It's just we live in this particular age now where there are certain people come up with a lot of great ideas, and that's how you improve. You improve by just listening to some content, social media thing, like content on social media everywhere, and Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, doesn't matter. there will be probably many more in the future, because young generation now basically relying on constantly. They're not communicating through words. Most of them communicating through messages. That's how they are. That's how it changed a lot compared to when I was growing up, when we actually talked to people, you know. So I don't know. Eventually, can you imagine in 20 years on YouTube, the younger generation, instead of talking on lives, will be like texting. So sitting quiet, texting to each other. Not be talking about anything. And that's it. I was like, alright, we're done. That's it. It's over. Goodbye, see you tomorrow. But that's how it's gonna be, guys, because that's how they are in terms of communicating now. Not everyone, of course, but a lot. Because the world has changed. Everything changes, you know. I can see that through my own eyes how it was before 20 years, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, and see what's happening. So, upcoming change with fees, you gotta have to either adapt to it, not promote as they told you. A lot of people don't promote at all. And I mean, or market other marketplaces, of course. There are many more marketplaces. I know successful people who sell, resellers who sell on only on Poshmark and only clothing, or sell only on Mercari, and do great. You know, I talked to some of them at our bin store. One of the guys sells shoes only on Mercari and does great. Sells a lot of shoes. So that's, and which I discussed last time. Best part of Mercari and Poshmark in this case is that in their situation, where they're looking out for sellers more also, or on equal stage with buyers, kind of, not like eBay does, is that they give you 3 days, the buyers 3 days after their purchase, when they receive the item, to inspect it. And if something is wrong, they can open up a return within only 3 days. That's it. That's perfect. Will eBay do that? No. I may be wrong, but I don't think so. Because if they do that kind of thing, they will lose a lot of buyers. I mark my words. They are living by example of Amazon. Hopefully, like I said before in my videos, they're not gonna turn into Amazon, where Amazon requires you now, with all the changes they made, to provide constant invoices of where you're getting your stuff. You cannot sell a lot of brands, and that's hopefully eBay is not gonna turn into that. You never know. But that's why a lot of people think ahead in a reselling game or a business, where they tend to completely have different business in terms of reselling. Like I said earlier, they don't sell. So there are a bunch of resellers, guys, and I see in my bin store, they don't sell on eBay at all. They do like sell bunch, like I discussed it. I think there are certain people that sell stuff, send stuff like to other countries. Like they'll buy in bulk. Like they will fill up like 7 carts of things, clothing or shoes, sell them to other like someone in other country who buys from them, paying them flat fee for the for the shoes, like per pair. So you get like bunch of shoes. You come every day, you grab bunch of shoes, you fill up container, so, and each pair will be certain amount of money, like flat fee, I guess, or some other ones do it differently, and then they ship it to another country and get paid. When of course they ship it through sea or ocean or whatever, how they do it, it's their business. They have to drive to port, bring containers there. It's a lot of work, but that's how they do their business. You know, flea markets, people don't even sell on eBay at all. They bring stuff to flea markets, they rent booths, sell stuff there. So a lot of opportunities out there, guys. So that's why you cannot rely on eBay, in my opinion, nowadays much, because they're gonna be always for their business, making money. It's a big corporation, and they can of course look at your comments and read stuff, and but they'll be changing towards favoring sellers. I highly doubt it, guys. Very doubtful. And also with all the issues, constant returns, which is basically it's part of the business. It's you're gonna lose money but that's how it is. Part of the business. Doesn't happen all the time. I always bring a great example. There are power sellers on eBay who sell thousands of things per day. Can you imagine? I always say it. How many returns they possibly get a day? A lot. How many negative feedbacks they get? A lot. You can check. You know this. How many power sellers sell thousands upon thousands of things, small things, low volume. Low dollar volumes, $5 things, whatever, like cards, trading cards, postcards. A bunch of those where they list a lot of things, like at the same day can list thousands of things, especially now, of course, with AI stuff. But they still doing their business, and they don't pay attention to that. I mean, that's what's gonna happen. You're gonna bring large volumes of things. You're gonna sell large volume, even if it's cheap. But you're gonna be facing a lot of returns. You're gonna be facing a lot of negative, neutral feedbacks. It's a reality. That's how it's gonna be, because you cannot satisfy. There are so many people. You cannot satisfy everyone. You're not gonna sit there and say, "Oh, sorry," for each of those negatives or neutral. Say, "Oh, we didn't." No, nobody has time for this kind of stuff. I mean, it's impossible, especially if you sell large volume. If it's a small seller, you're niche down, sell specific things for high volume, higher dollar volumes, with higher profit margins. It's completely different thing. So a lot of people have completely different businesses. It doesn't have to be on eBay, everywhere. Anyway, guys, just wanted to be talking bubblehead video once again. And those, maybe, I think, let me know in the comments. Usually I don't get a lot of comments, but whoever watches, guys, I really appreciate it. Content creators who put out content all the time, doing it on time, doing it on schedule, with professional equipment. Great. Will it happen on this channel? My channel? I don't know, guys. I'm trying to kind of, when you do, like I say all the time, I'm by myself doing it all. So, like, if I like to do videos, but I just don't do it in any way or form in a level of professionalism that requires YouTube to push the channel out. So it is what it is. Right, guys, thank you very much. Have a great day. Hit the like button. I'll see you hopefully soon.